Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WDW Fan Zone Show. I am Stuart Sternberg, and right now I'm joined by Darlene Nagy and John Maloney, and Lottie Ferguson will join us in a little while. Tonight we're going to cover the latest Walt Disney World news, and then we're going to pretend as if we own Disney, things we would do, maybe we wouldn't do, and things we would change. And it's all pretend for that part of the show. But right now we're going to get a little serious, and Darlene, take it away with what you've got in the world of news.
Okay. Fantasyland has the new Mad Hatter golden statue in all his glory as a whimsical statue positioned naturally in view of the dancing dishware in the Fantasyland Mad Tea Party attraction. So check that out. I have not seen that one yet, so I'm really excited. Um, Stuart and I had the opportunity to go to the DVC Moonlight Magic event on Tuesday at Disney's Hollywood Studios. It's very well organized. You can get in at 7 p.m. You line up right after you go through security, and you get your band, and they give you a park map so you know exactly what's open. You get your coupon tickets for a popcorn bucket, and then a couple you can go for a meal or get snacks. Um, and then they also had the free Mickey bars and strawberry popsicles. So everything, Stuart had the popsicle, said it was very good.
Mhm.
We had the ice cream bars, and of course,
I had that too.
yes, I know. Those ice cream bars are just the best.
Yes,
So,
indeed.
um, we got to ride, Rise. We got to Did we ride anything else other
Yes,
than Rise?
Toy
Oh,
Story
yes,
Midway
Slinky Dog.
Mania. Some of I didn't do
Toy
this, but some of
Story,
you did
yes.
Slinky Dog.
Slinky Dog, yep. And
Um, yeah, go ahead.
Mickey's Runaway Railway, we tried to get on, but we didn't make it.
Well, when Darlene says we didn't make it, they decided to shut. When I say they didn't decide to shut the ride down. The ride malfunctioned. Something happened. It was probably somebody throwing a hat on the track. God only
Yeah,
knows, but it got shut down for a
it
bit.
did. So, and they had dance music going on. They made it a lot of fun.
Yeah, they
They
did.
did have the show on the tower and that, so that was really cool. Um, it was definitely, the lines were not bad. We made it through Rise and, oh my gosh, I would say probably 15, 20
Yeah,
minutes. Walking through it was great. I mean, it was I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, couldn't this happen all the time?"
yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and then I noticed that on Disney Plus, we now have the Chip and Dale Rescue Ranger series has been downloaded, and I know Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be starting this Friday.
Oh, that's right.
Hmm.
Tomorrow?
I'm so excited
I
for that.
can't. When I no, it's June 20th, not May 27th. It's June 27th, I think.
No, May
May.
27th.
It's
Oh,
this.
Alright.
good. I'm glad I'm wrong
Yeah.
because I've been looking forward to that for the longest time.
Right? I just finished Moon Knight. If you have not seen that, it is a good series.
Uh,
Yeah. I think it's a great series.
you know what? I found it hard to follow because I don't know the Moon Knight character,
Neither do I, before
and
this.
Neither did I.
I just found it difficult to, especially the first few episodes. I found it difficult to sit through. Um, but that's me. It's I just I didn't really care for it. Of all the series, I'm not saying it was bad. I saw the entire series, but I like the other ones they've done much better than this one. So if I had to list them all from favorite to least favorite, it would probably be my least favorite.
Hmm,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, it's like my son loved it.
Mhm.
I know I'm in the minority when it comes to not enjoying it as much as the others.
I like that they are different. I like
Yes.
Mhm.
that they have their own unique feel. It's not just the same old stuff.
Yep.
And I did like after, they put the last episode out, that they put the assembly out as well, the making of it, which was
Assembled.
assembled.
Yeah.
That's really good too. So
Yeah,
in
they've been
case
doing
you
that
want
with
to
all the
watch,
series.
yeah.
I think it's great that they do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's all I have for right this second.
Do you want to do the Eat to the Beat?
Oh yes, yes. Not the Eat to the Beat. I'm going to do the Eat to the Beat. Oh yeah, Eat to the Beat concert series lineup. So get ready. The Baja Men are coming back July 14th and 15th. July 16th and 18th, our Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. July 29th and 30th, Taylor Dane. July 31st and August 1st is Tiffany. August 5th and 8th, Joey Fatone and Friends. August 12th and 13th, the Devon Alman Project. August 14th and 15th, Christopher Cross. August 19th and 20th, Journey former lead vocalist Steve. I can't say his last name.
Perry. Steve
Thank you.
Perry.
No. Augeri.
Oh, sorry. The other
Lead vocalist, yes.
I think it's our Jerry.
Oh, Jerry. Okay. August 21st and 22nd, Air Supply. September 2nd and 3rd, Southern Avenue. September 5th and 4th and 5th, Chris Allen and David Cook. September 9th and 10th, Hoobastank. That's a new one. September 16th and 17th, Lost Amigos Invisibles, and that's new. September 23rd and 24th, BB Mac. September 30th and October 1st, Stokely is new. October 2nd and 3rd, Sheila E. October 7th and 8th, Mark Wills. October 9th and 10th, 38 Special. October 23rd and 24th, Billy Ocean. October 28th to the 31st, Hanson. And November 4th to the 7th, ending the series, is going to be Boys to Men.
Yeah, they've got something for everybody.
Mm-hmm. They do.
I'll tell you, I think of the groups that have been announced, the one I'm looking forward to the most is probably 38 Special.
Yeah, 38 Special, I like them. I do want to see Big Voodoo Daddy. I've wanted to see them for a long time, and I have not been able to. So I am definitely going to try to see them for sure. And I want to see Billy Ocean and Hanson and Boys to Men.
I got a question. Aren't Boys to Men grandparents now?
They probably are.
So no Southside Johnny this year?
No Southside Johnny.
No Southside. He hasn't played there in years.
Now, one thing I do have to mention, if you're one of those park guests that would like to do a dining package to get advanced seating for the show, those are going to start going on sale as of May 24th. So they're already on sale, those packages.
Mm-hmm. And if anybody from Disney is listening, besides Gary U.S. Bond, besides Southside Johnny, I would love them to get Gary U.S. Bonds to play at the Eat to the Beat. I think he'd be perfect there. But
how about Blondie?
Yeah, Blondie would be good.
They're still performing.
Is Deborah Harry still performing with Blondie? Wow.
Yeah, she actually had a new album a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. All right, John, have you got anything for us?
I do have one item, even though I wasn't supposed to be on.
No, we kind of threw John for a loop. He connected to the show, and we go, oh, by the way, we're doing the news in the beginning of the show.
Well, the one item I have, as we've seen in the past, that Disney has made tweaks and changes to Genie Plus, and one of the things that I think is a very positive thing, and it's going to be starting just in a few days on May 31st, and that is that Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is going to move from an individual paid Lightning Lane attraction to Genie Plus, at least up through into August. So for the summer months, and now that the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is opening as a individual paid Lightning Lane attraction, you'll have another option now for Genie Plus in one of the best attractions on all of Walt Disney World right now.
Yeah, yeah, it is. All right. I got some news for you guys too. But before I get into the news, I want to tell you about the very best that is, was, and will be when it comes to travel planning to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Adventures by Disney, a Disney Cruise. Wherever you want to go, even if you don't want to do a Disney vacation, but you want to go on vacation, Mouse Fan Travel's got you covered for all your travel needs. From start to finish, before, during, and even after your trip, they're with you every step of the way to plan things your way, which is the only way and the best way. So, to find out more about Mouse Fan Travel and to book this year's vacation with them, what do you've got to do? You've got to get on your computer and go to www.mousefantravel.com. That is www.mousefantravel.com. All right, what have I got here in the news? Okay, on Friday, May 20th, the Walt Disney World Presents Theater in Disney's Hollywood Studios began presenting scenes from the upcoming movie Lightyear, which is going to be released on June 17th. Disney is also extending early theme park entry for Disney Resort guests through 2023. There's a big change coming for annual pass holders regarding dining and merchandise discounts. Now, annual pass holders will be required to show their ID along with their annual pass that is located on the My Disney Experience app. Apparently, some guests were like passing their annual pass along to others to get the discount. So Disney's kind of
sending a screenshot to them.
Yep. All right. There have been numerous reports by Disney World guests that when asking for a free cup of ice water at counter service restaurants, that they are being told they cannot give them ice with their water. Now, Darlene, you were able to get ice with your water, weren't you? Darlene?
Yes, I was. It was just maybe odd. It was like partially melted, but I did have a few ice cubes in my glass.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that they're doing this now. I don't know what the reason is, but I'm sure they have a valid reason for it. Something must have happened, so that they said, "Okay, we've got to be safer." Maybe I don't know. But if anybody gets ice water with ice, please let us know, because I don't know if this is being done throughout the parks or if it's just certain locations, certain cast members.
Maybe because it's so hot, they're going through a lot of ice with drinks and they can't
Yeah,
put it with the water.
I don't know. I don't know. Disney announced that on May 31st, a new Disney store will open along with a larger-than-life outdoor art display at Hollywood Plaza Garage at 850 International Drive, which is just off I-4. The art display will feature favorite Disney characters and the golden statues on display in the parks as part of Disney World's 50th anniversary celebration. This just announced Season 3 of The Mandalorian will air on Disney Plus in February 2023.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way, yep. Although there's been no official announcement, per Variety, Disney Plus is developing a new Daredevil series for the streaming service with Matt Coleman and Chris Ord as executive producers and writers. Stephanie Leifer, EVP of current programming for Disney-owned ABC Signature for 28 years, is moving on from her position with the company. Now, I've got some sad news. It's not as big as the sad news Darlene has to share with everybody, but I'm going to share this first. Colin Cantwell, who was the first animator and first animation graduate at UCLA and best known for designing and constructing prototypes of X-Wing, Star Destroyer, the TIE Fighter, TIE, the Death Star, and other ships for Star Wars New Hope, which was the very first Star Wars movie. He passed away. He died at his home in Colorado this past Saturday at the age of 90. Darlene, before I give the food booths that are going to be coming this year to the Food and Wine Festival, why don't you tell us who else passed away today?
Yes,
Uh,
today, sadly, Ray Liotta
Mm.
died today in the Dominican Republic during movie filming at the age of 67. He is an American actor and producer. You might remember him. He's appeared as himself in a purely vocal role for the What a Crock episode of the Disney Channel's comedy Phineas and Ferb. He also did the Operation Dumbo Drop, Captain T.C. Doyle, Muppets in Space, Gate Guard #1, and then he did Muppets Most Wanted, Big Papa. He's also very well known for the movie
yeah,
Goodfellas and Field of Dreams. We're going to totally, definitely miss him.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
we
Hey,
send
Lottie.
our
All
we send our thoughts and prayers to his fiance and his daughter.
right. All right, let's end on the news part of this with on a happier note. So this year, coming to the Food and Wine Festival, are going to be several of the booths returning. There'll be some new ones. So we've got the Alps, Australia, Appleseed Orchard, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, China, Earth Eats, hosted by Impossible, Flavors from Fire, France is going to have their food booth back. The Fry Basket, which is brand new, French fries and yuca fries. Germany will have a booth again. Greece, hops and barley. India, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Kenya, Mexico. Shimmering Sips, hosted by Corksicle. Spain will have another booth this year. The Swanky Saucy Swine returns. That's my favorite name of all the food booths. The Tangerine Cafes, Flavor of the Medina will return. But there are some that will not open until the 15th of August, and that is Brewing at the Odyssey, Coastal Eats, Hawaii, Mac and Eats, and the Noodle Exchange. All right, Darlene, have you got park hours for us?
I do have park hours for
All
us.
right. Bring it
Okay, we're
on.
going to start with Friday, May 27th. Magic Kingdom will be open from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then there's going to be a special for June 1st, 9 to 11, and then 11 to 1 a.m. for the deluxe resort guests. So if you're staying on property, the June 1st date will have that. I wanted to give that today since we'll be on next week, Tuesday, that we might, it's going to be really close. So if you're coming, plan for those extra hours, take a nap. Epcot is going to be open this following week up till Tuesday, 8:30 to 9 p.m. Hollywood Studios is going to be 8:30 to 9 p.m. Disney's Animal Kingdom is going to be 7:30 to 8 p.m. Typhoon Lagoon is going to be 10 to 6. The Boardwalk is going to be 6:30 to 10 p.m. Disney Springs tomorrow and Saturday will be 10 to 11:30, and then Sunday through Tuesday, 10 to 11 p.m.
All right, very good. And for the weather for the upcoming week, well, it's going to be for the next, or I should say for the next 7 days, you'll find the highs in the upper 80s to low 90s, overnight lows in the low 70s. There's also a chance this time of year for a thunderstorm each day popping up out of the blue, so be prepared for that. Bring your $1.25 store ponchos. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the news. Lottie, thank you for joining us. John, Darlene. We're going to pretend we own Disney tonight. And we're going to discuss things that we would do, maybe not do, change. We're just going to have a little bit of fun with it. So does anybody want to start it off? If not, I'll start it off. It doesn't matter. All right, I'll start it off. One of the things I would do, and John's probably going to go like, no, you can't. But if I own it, I can. I would get rid of Lightning Lanes and Genie Plus.
That was going to be my first thing too.
Yeah, I would bring back Fast Pass, but with a Fast Pass, I wouldn't allow advanced reservations for Fast Pass. You'd have to do it in the park the day you're there, and allow 3 at a time. Also, to go along, since I'm getting rid of Genie Plus and Lightning Lanes and taking that revenue away, what I would do is for Disney World resort guests, and I mean only the ones that are staying at Disney World owned resorts, along with annual pass holders, allow one park per day to have open an hour early and another park close 2 hours later, and charge, let's say, $15 for that privilege as an extra add-on. So if you want to get into the park an hour early or stay 2 hours later, you're going to pay $15 extra. Maybe because it's an hour in the morning, you make it $10. We'll see, but that would keep the revenue going. That's just something I would do. Anybody else? Now, I just want to let everybody listening or watching, we had a different topic tonight, and we changed it at the last minute due to the panel that's here. There were some changes that were made at the very last minute, and it wasn't Kurt because Kurt is on vacation someplace, so it was not him. So we had to change things. So I kind of threw everybody for a loop by sending this out. I think it was after 8 when I sent the invite out. Because I got notified last minute, and it trickled down.
Mm-hmm.
John, what would you do differently, or what would you change?
Well, I have a couple of things to choose from first. I think the thing I'm going to go with first is the thing that I'd like to see change the most, and that is that I'd like to improve the bus service. So the bus service is always something that's been frustrating to me, with how crowded the buses are, and I'm always standing on the bus when I'm on it. And even though the buses do come regularly, it's just a frustrating experience. So some of the things that I look at are, better guest awareness of when the next bus is coming. I know Disney has tried different things at the resorts with populating the times when they're coming. I think one of the places that is the biggest frustration to me is when you're at one of the parks and you're waiting for a bus to take you back to your resort, and you just have no idea when that bus is coming. And you inevitably get there, and the crowd starts to build for your resort, and you watch bus go by after bus go by after bus go by, and you just keep wondering. So I think awareness of when they're going to be there, as well as somehow improving the overall distribution. I know it's a huge chore, but it's just one of the things that frustrates me, and why I don't like to take Disney buses.
Well, would it mean just adding on more buses, do you think?
Well, I think that could be part of the solution. I know that they have a lot of logistics to deal with. They've got so many resorts, and they've got all of the different parks, and the water parks, and or Disney Springs. So I know they've got a lot to manage, but to me, it's just one of those frustrating experiences. So it could be adding more buses. It could be tracking them better, distributing them better. I'm not a person working in logistics, thankfully, because it would probably be worse. But
now, I don't know if they do this now, because it's been a long time since I've been on one of the Disney buses. But do you think it would be helpful if they sent 2 buses in at a time? One that would not take handicapped people, and one that would, but the one that would take handicapped people, allow them to put who's ever on that line that's handicapped on first with their family or party, and then fill up the bus behind it? Or is that being discriminatory?
Well, certainly, I don't think anybody's going to complain to have 2 buses at a location where it's crowded with guests, whether it's leaving from the resort in the morning, or leaving at the park at the end of the day. I don't think anybody's going to complain with more. Certainly, people are going to complain if prices go up, but that's the rub.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it's not an easy thing because but with the reservation system now, they know approximately how many guests they're going to have in that park that day and how many of them are staying on property. by the bookings, they know who's on property, who's got a car, who doesn't have a car. So they should know how many bus drivers they need.
Well,
For
they
each
just
book.
don't know. I think there's different challenges at different times of the day.
Yes, because they don't know
In
when
the
guests are
morning,
going to go.
when everybody's trying to get to the parks, I don't want to say you're jockeying for position with all the other guests, but you're hoping that there's room on that bus for you, and Disney certainly sends more buses in the morning. In the middle of the afternoon or late morning, there probably aren't a lot of guests going back to the resorts, but if you happen to be one of them, that could be a time where you're waiting longer because Disney doesn't have as many buses out. And certainly at the end of the day, the reverse, everybody's going from their park of choice for that day or for their park hopper and getting back to the resorts or going to Disney Springs. So it's a dynamic situation.
But as the owner of Disney, isn't it your position you're in the position to resolve this?
Well, right. And
So go ahead and
I mean,
resolve it.
there's another item we talked about before, and that's something like Skyliner, which has its own challenges.
Yes.
Skyliner has a constant throughput, but it's got, peaks and valleys with ridership. But if it goes down, which
Weather.
it does for lightning, for wind, for other things, then you have to have a backup for that.
Yeah. How about extending the monorail? Money's no object. You own it, and money's no object.
That's on my list.
That was on my list too. I'm going to have nothing left to talk about. So go ahead.
I've got quite a few things, and these are things I just thought of, like as I came up with the topic tonight.
I would not turn down another monorail loop.
All right. Let's give Darlene a chance. Darlene, what have you got before there's nothing left on your list?
I would try to make the parking a little bit easier and get those trams running.
Yeah.
Definitely get the trams running and get the parking lot to be, I mean, you have parking attendants and stuff, and I think that parking lot should be policed a little bit more for like open spots and stuff. I really think they need to I think that would be one of the first things I would gauge is helping to get the parking situated better.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think you're going to get an argument from anybody on that one. All right, Lottie.
So the first thing I want is the annual pass prices grandfathered in. If you pay X amount of dollars this year and you renew next year, then you pay the same price whether they go up or not.
I agree. That was another one.
Every guest is going to agree with that, but you own it. You're going to lose money doing that.
Yeah, well, but I got loyal folks coming back, and so if you buy a new annual pass, then you don't get the same price the folks had the previous year.
Yeah.
I want my annual pass to stop going up every year. I am over the reservation system. I understand it, but I'm over it, and
Yep.
That's a whole added stress of like in the past, when we take our entire family, the rest of my family aren't pass holders, and so I would never buy all 4 tickets at the same time. Now I have to because I got to make sure that everybody gets in the park.
It's an added detail of planning, and we all know the effort required for planning for dining reservations. For are you going to get Lightning Lane or Genie Plus? Having to get that park too. You're right. It is stressful to have to do that.
At first I was for the reservation system, but seeing how, I guess for myself and Darlene, the dynamic's a little bit different because we're here. And this is where the troublesome part for me comes in. I make plans this week for the end of next week, just as an example. How do I know that the day I get to that day next week that, it's 96 degrees outside, I don't feel like going to the parks? Right. I cancel it. But then I could have gone a different day earlier in the week, but I didn't make a reservation for it because I thought that would be the best day for me. But what if I wake up one morning and go, you know what? I want to go to the Magic Kingdom today. It's a beautiful day. I've got nothing to do. I just want to go. And then I go in there and there's nothing there.
What would you think for annual pass holders who are locals? I mean, Florida annual pass holders, if there was preference given to other Florida annual pass holders who have been in the parks less days that given month. So the more that you're in the parks, the less preference you get versus the others to try
But you still have to make a reservation. That's
no,
defeating.
no, no. What I'm saying is, well, yeah, you're right. You're right. You would have to make a reservation. You don't want to show up there and be turned away.
Yeah. I think I would prefer that they get rid of the reservation system. I know they won't, but I would prefer they get rid of the reservation system. And you know what? If the park reaches capacity, your ticket's good in any other park.
Yeah, well, like I said, my issue is in the past, I've always purchased, a year out, I know I'm going, I'll purchase Kyle's ticket in January, I'll purchase Candace's ticket in March, but now I have to buy all 4 of them at the same time because they're tied to dates and I have to make park reservations.
You definitely should. If you are traveling to Walt Disney World, whether you're staying off property or on property, you should not be turned away from parks. You should be able to get in to at least one park.
Well, yeah, I agree. And I'm going to piggyback off of Lottie with my next couple. I would freeze the prices per park per day for a single day ticket at $100. It would allow you into any one of the 4 parks. So if you can't get into Magic Kingdom, so let's say Magic Kingdom's reached capacity, you still have 3 other choices. And also with annual pass holders, what I would do is simplify the annual pass. Have one with no blackout dates whatsoever for whatever the cost will be. One that might have certain blackout dates, but not the way they're doing it now.
They do.
No, but I'm going to simplify
doesn't.
I'm going to simplify.
Or not platinum.
I know, but I'm going to simplify it. I'm not going to have like one for weekdays, one for weekends.
There's too many.
You have the one that has no blackout dates, and then you have one where you're blacked out for major holidays. So, and Christmas week, Easter week, maybe a week for spring break. But those are the days annual pass holders generally don't like to go to the parks anyway because it's high capacity those days. And that would be it. No weekday only, no weekend only. I get rid of those. Well, they don't have a weekend only now anyway. They have a weekday, but and allow free parking with it. Continue to allow free parking with it for annual pass holders.
Yep, that was
I don't like this preferred parking where you pay extra, you get to park closer. Get rid of that. I think there are enough people that need those spaces because of medical reasons, and it could actually add more handicap spots for those who need it.
Oh yeah, because I know the one time we went to the park, I went with my friends and we ended up parking in regular parking because there was no handicapped. I was like, wow. Yeah. I'm like, what good does that do you?
Yep. All right. John, you got anything else?
I've got a few other things.
Good.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring one up that may not be popular with everybody.
Okay.
And that is I would like to do something to minimize the number of strollers that are being pushed through the parks.
You're not getting an argument from me on that one. I agree with you.
It seems counterintuitive, but as somebody who doesn't have a stroller, doesn't have to push a stroller,
you know what?
I just feel inundated by strollers all around me whenever I'm trying to navigate through the park.
I actually seen a 7 or 8-year-old in a stroller. being pushed by the mother with a like 4-year-old. And I thought that was ridiculous.
Yep. I've seen that too. One of the part of the problem is it's not the stroll. Well, it's the strollers, but you have the double strollers. They're side by side. Why not have it one behind the other so it doesn't take up too
Those
much?
are
But you have
awful.
gotten rid of some of the
They're
bigger
awful.
ones.
That's why.
I'm
Have you
sorry.
tried to fold? I say because they're awful. That's why. Have you tried to fold one of those things up and put it on the Disney bus, the front back stroller? The first trip we went after Ava was born, we had one of those strollers, and as soon as we got back to Michigan, we put it on the curb. It is awful.
But but they've got to do something because, to John's point, and I've seen this numerous times, you're walking on the right side of the street or wherever you want to call it, and some crazy ass mom with her two kids in the double stroller is flying through on the wrong side, and you've got to get out of her way because she's aiming right for you and she's not going to stop. I've seen that numerous times. And I've seen fathers do that too.
It's just
More
a
moms
matter
than
of people
dads.
being inconsiderate, and then yeah, some kids are in strollers way longer than we think they should be, but we don't know that family story. That kid could have developmental delays and
Yep,
and
that's true.
other issues and may not be able to navigate the parks without the stroller, even at age 8 or 9. But we have to hope that people will be more considerate and not feel entitled because they've paid to be there to disrupt other people's
Well,
vacation.
how about creating a stroller lane in certain parts of the park where only strollers are allowed in?
Darlene's waving her
Go ahead,
hand.
Darlene. Darlene looks like she's gonna burst.
I think with that ruling, that lane should be for the ECVs too,
Yeah,
because there
I
are
would agree with that.
so many people in the park with those ECVs.
Yeah,
Well, I don't think an ECV should be allowed to go faster than I can go at a fast walk.
Oh, exactly.
But
I thought they were only like slow miles anyway.
yeah. I thought Disney had a limit. No, seriously, I thought Disney had a limit that they could go, that they couldn't go past a certain speed.
I
They
have
let
seen
people,
if they can pass me when I'm walking fast, that's too fast.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's not they might be their own personal ECVs that are that than other than
Third-party
Disney's.
rentals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know somebody who just purchased one. I think it goes like 3 or 4 miles per hour, which is not fast, and that is probably one of the ones that would be acceptable. But if you've got one going like 15, 20, 25 miles per hour,
Well,
get them out
you know
of the
what?
car.
Going 5 or 6 miles an hour is going at the rate of some people running.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's true.
And I don't have a good answer to it, but if there was some innovation somewhere to help cut down on the volume of the amount of space that strollers take up within the park, I would.
They've already reduced the size
Mhm,
of strollers, and they don't allow folks to do the wagons anymore.
mhm.
But people can still bring in their own strollers.
They can, but they've reduced the size of the strollers. There are certain strollers that you just can't bring in the park anymore.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, okay. Now I have to look. Remember what I mentioned were you with me the other day when I seen a wagon? I thought they put a kaput on wagons.
Yeah, yeah. I thought they
Okay,
did
because
too.
somebody actually had a wagon and it was in the park.
Mhm.
Because I highly doubt he folded it up and put it in a locker. But he was
Yeah.
pulling it out of Magic Kingdom. Oh, it was Magic Kingdom.
It's I want to bring something up too. This is a little different than with the strollers and the ECVs that I've seen a lot in the parks. And I'm not criticizing. I'm criticizing the owners of this. There are so many people that are coming into the parks with dogs for several reasons, and I don't have a problem with that. But I just think it's very cruel to the dog, to the animal, in the heat, or however far they're walking with their owner.
I've seen dogs in strollers too.
That I'm okay with. Believe it, I'm okay with that because at least the dog isn't walking on the hot pavement and walking miles. I just think it's cruel to bring an animal into the park and walk all over the park, like 6-7 miles with the dog, or even
Well,
3
I
miles
just
with
think
the
the
dog.
dog should have some sort of service dog
That's what I was looking for, the name service.
Certification, designation.
certification, notification on it also. Because,
Yeah.
like, I have a friend that's deathly afraid of dogs, and people are bringing dogs in. We don't know if they're all service dogs or not if they don't have something on.
Look, like I said, I don't have a problem with the dogs in the parks if they're going to be in a stroller. I do have a problem with somebody allowing their dog to walk 3-4 miles and not, if they're supposed to be a
And
service
not
dog,
having, yeah.
but you don't have to be cruel to your dog that you need desperately. That's why it's a service dog.
Mm.
I know there was one with boots on the other day, which I was very impressed with.
Wow.
It was Labradoodle, and it was walking. It was a service dog. Had the vest on with matching. It was really cute. It was coordinated, matching little blue booties.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just wanted to bring that up because I just, it's like, it bothers me if I see somebody walking around because, it's if somebody comes in and they're just going to go to eat and leave or go into a store and leave, okay, fine. But if you're going to spend the day and walk around with that dog, think of the poor animal.
Right. I mean, I take my dogs out at like 7 o'clock in the morning just to avoid the heat.
Mhm.
But can we get to me for another one?
No.
Lottie, go ahead.
Go ahead, darling.
So now, if I could do anything I wanted, I would allow a guest a one time, I would put it on their magic band or whatever, a day drink.
Mm.
Either it
Mm.
be a coffee, water, or tea, or a soda. Give them
Would,
at least one drink.
would you bring back the dining plan or would you get rid of it?
Me, I would probably bring back the dining plan for guests staying on property.
Would you make it affordable for guests?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
not.
it nice of us to make all these decisions for Disney?
I know.
This is
I
Probably
enjoyed it
watching this
because
and going like,
pre-planning was my big thing. Once I got Keith on board and found out how easy it was to do it, it was easy to have the dining plan, 2 quick services to sit down, and we were able to do know what we wanted to eat.
It was great in the early years, but
yes, in the early years it was
the
great.
further along it got, the less cost effective it became, and so we just started buying gift cards in the amount of the
Dining
um,
plan.
cost of the dining plan, and we used it for food and souvenirs, and we still had gift cards left every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they kind of, it was like one of those all or nothing deals that they made it. And I'm not talking about the counter service dining plan. I'm talking about the one where you get one sit down per day, one counter service per day, because you're getting a snack, you're getting a dessert, and it's just like, it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Lottie, do you have anything else?
I do. I have a few more.
Good. Keep it on going.
I want more Run Disney events, and I want them to bring back the ones in California.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a runner, but I like that.
Yeah.
It's very popular.
It's we got January, we got February for Princess, then we got
March.
April for
March or April.
March or April.
Springtime surprise, and then we got November.
Yeah.
They could easily stick 2 more events in there.
Yeah. All right. My next thing. This is a 2-parter. I'm going to change the name of Disney's Hollywood Studios. Actually, it's a 3-parter. Change the name of Disney's Hollywood Studios to Florida Adventures. I'm also going to get rid of the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular and put something else there, something to be named later. But I think it's time for that attraction to go. It's a good attraction. but I haven't seen it in years because I know it's there and it's always been there. I think it's time for a change there. The other thing, this is the other part to this. I would open up a fifth park. So you'd have space for all those guests that are going, it's too crowded here, to go someplace else. So if the Magic Kingdom or Epcot is at capacity, you've got an extra choice of where to go and to do something. The theming of it, I'll hold on to that. I'll hold that under my hat for a little while. All right, John.
One of the things that I think would be good for the guests from a flexibility perspective is allowing the sale of evening tickets. So you can buy a ticket for just an evening, sometimes as part of a conference or convention or special event, but you can't buy it as just a regular ticket. So you come down, you don't get there first thing in the morning. Let's say, you get to your hotel that first day that you arrive, you don't have the opportunity to go into the park without paying full price to go into the park. So
That's
I
right.
think it would be helpful to have some kind of discounted evening ticket to allow people to get that extra time in the park
Yeah.
especially for your first day.
I agree with you. Let's say you come after 5 or 6 p.m. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
I agree totally.
Yeah. All right, Darlene, anything else?
No, I can't think of anything.
All right. Lottie.
I want regular park hopping back.
Mhm.
This after 2 o'clock business is getting old.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
And having to go to your other park first.
First, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. I think, yeah. It's Disney wants to know where you are at all times. And I know they're doing it for, they're saying that it's to keep enough employees per park on staff that day to handle the crowd and have their good customer service continue that day so they don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah, they did it for 50 years.
That's right. They did.
It worked perfectly fine.
I'm okay
They had their
with
challenges. They would have the challenges with but you know what? That is the incumbent upon them to be able to manage those challenges.
Yeah.
They certainly have more data and insight into guest behavior than any other theme park operator. So it's
But you know what I like that they do, and they're very clever at that. All those surveys that they ask you to take, what they're doing is they're getting you to answer things honestly, but conforming to what they want you to answer, so they can take that information and mold it into something that benefits them for what they're trying to do. And that's not a knock on Disney. That's kudos to Disney for being so clever at doing it. But it's park hopping. Bring back regular park hopping. Let's see what else. Boy, there's so many things I would change.
Well, I got another one.
Okay, go ahead.
I absolutely positively love the festivals at Epcot.
Mhm.
But now it just isn't as special anymore because
They're too
there's
long.
always a festival going on. They're too long.
Exactly.
I want to shorten the festivals up. So it gives me a reason to visit at a certain time of the year. Like anytime you visit now, there's a festival going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, that's reminded me of one of the things that I wanted to put in the list, like the after hours parties. They're very expensive, and I understand that you have to pay for employees, you have to pay for the giveaways that they have there. What I'd like to see them do is limit the pricing on those so more people can participate in the after hours parties. Like maybe limit it to guests that are staying on property, maybe having an annual pass holder night where only annual pass holders can go, or maybe a single day ticket, people that are not on property, rather, I should say, go on certain nights. Giving everybody a chance at different times. But, who knows? And for a cheaper price.
Mm-hmm.
I had one and it left me. As you guys were talking, I had a thought.
I have a very simple one.
Sure.
And that is Disney needs to allow guests to modify their park reservations in the app. So you can now do that as an annual pass holder.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not an annual pass holder, you can't.
Do it.
So you shouldn't have to drop a park and then have to add one. You should be able to modify it right within the app. And everybody.
You're keeping the park reservations. I'm getting rid of them.
I know. So, given that they aren't going to get rid of them, this is something I think that they need to do.
So I'm looking at the app right now. I thought there was a way to do that already.
I can do it, and I have done it recently, but it is because I'm an annual pass holder.
Yeah.
Well, I am.
Well, that's why you can do it.
Huh. Okay. I'll investigate more later.
I would add more restaurants.
What's that?
I would add more restaurants not to Epcot, but I would add more restaurants to Disney Hollywood Studios. I would add a couple more to Animal Kingdom, and I would add, what park didn't I? Oh, Magic Kingdom. I would add another one or two.
I want alcohol at Magic Kingdom.
I don't want alcohol in that's another one I have. No alcohol in the parks.
Because he doesn't drink.
No. Honestly, it's because I've seen too many times where there are families with little children, and I've seen college students acting perfectly normal. The kids, the college students acting perfectly normal, and it's the parents with the 3-year-old and 4-year-old drunk off their rear end. I'm tired of seeing that in the parks.
Well, I've certainly seen plenty of that at World Showcase.
Yes.
I want to give kudos to the college students that go to the parks. They are very well behaved. And teenagers, high school students, they're having fun, doing no harm. But it's those parents that have that one too many drink that shouldn't be allowed in those parks anymore. Get them out of there. All right. Anything else that any of you have that you'd like to mention?
I want to increase the merchandise discount for pass holders.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. We spend a lot of money in the parks, so the merchandise and food discount for pass holders, I would go.
So there you go. I think we need to double or increase the discount for people that are both DVC and annual pass holder.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing double investment into Disney. So I'm glad they finally started giving DVC members discounts, which they weren't before. They give some restaurant discounts, but they didn't give merchandise discounts. So they finally given the merchandise discounts. But I think DVC owners that have an annual pass are getting even more money into Disney, and I think they need to be treated better for that. I'm glad that they have instituted some of the things like Moonlight Magic, but I think from a discount perspective, I think it could be better.
That was run very well, I might add. The Moonlight Magic. I thought they did an excellent job with that. I was very happy to see how it was done.
I have to get some more details from you after the show tonight.
Yeah, it was very well organized too, I might add. I'd like to see them change DVC to, I think they've made it very complicated for people.
How do you mean?
Well, the points, depending on the season you go, the time of year you go, it's like, and the seasons keep increasing, so they can keep raising prices or points used
Well,
for certain nights.
the points, they can only rearrange the points. They can't increase the points. So they can adjust them, if they mark up.
But that is increasing it.
No, well, no, not overall. If they up the points for a resort at a given time of year, they have to knock the points down somewhere else.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't know.
can't just keep pushing them up. No.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know that. All right, fair point.
I have an item that has frustrated me somewhat when it comes to staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I love staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge. The thing that frustrates me about staying there is it's so hard to get into the Animal Kingdom as from the Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's one of the most difficult parks to enter. Though if you're driving in especially, but Magic Kingdom you have resorts where if you're staying close, you've got an easier way to get in. Epcot, if you're staying at one of the Epcot resorts, you've got a very easy way to get in.
Mhm.
And even some of the Epcot resorts have that added option of how to get into Disney Hollywood Studios, and some of the even some of the moderate and value resorts have the Skyliner to
Boy.
get into Hollywood Studios and Epcot. But for Animal Kingdom, there there's not a whole lot of benefit from staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So if they had a short Skyliner, or if they had some express parking lot or something, I think that they should have a perk for people staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge to make it easier to get into the Animal Kingdom park.
Yeah, I like that
Well,
idea.
that's what I'm going to do once I don't know.
When you own Disney, yes.
I'm sorry, when I was gone, did anybody say anything about make it easier for Disney Vacation Club members to get into hotels?
No, but you can say something about that. Since you own Disney now.
Yes. Yes, I think that I would definitely rearrange it that I would always have a bank of rooms, maybe 5 to 10 rooms at each DVC resort that would be available to Disney Vacation Club members, or free up other rooms if I sold those rooms to people, give a Disney Vacation Club member another paying room for that time span.
Darlene, can I say something about that? That is so simple and so logical, they'll never do it.
This is when I own it, though. That's what I would do.
I think that's great. I think that'd be a perfect solution to one of
I
their
know
issues.
a lot of people, and I know of one Disney Vacation Club member that has written in and has had an issue a few times and had to go to Port Orleans Riverside or Caribbean Beach to stay, and she could not use her DVC points, and she owns a lot. And that's sad.
Yeah.
And she books out too.
Well, would it be helpful if Disney gave everybody who purchases DVC a priority week that you can change annually? So you can pick a priority week, which would mean that if your priority is January, the first week of January, let's say.
No, I like the way they have it. Right now you have 11 months to book. It's the point that Disney is selling those rooms, though. They're not giving enough
What
rooms
they Right,
availability.
if they have inventory
Yeah.
that's not taken up by DVC members at a certain point, they will sell them to the public
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
they're just as if you were staying in another resort and you're paying per night.
Well, Do you guys get an email as DVC members? Do you guys get an email saying, "Hey, we've got these rooms available. You have until X date to book this. Otherwise, we're going to open it up to the general public"?
Nope.
Well, maybe they should start
Well,
doing
I
that.
mean that they'd be doing that constantly though, because
So what? They've got enough. They've got enough people working for them.
well, I
They
guess what
can
I'm
do
saying
that.
though is you'd be getting inundated with emails because there's always, what's
Okay,
next week going to be, and the week after that, there's always going to be these availabilities.
DVC members have a special login.
We do.
So
And
then
we
why
can
not?
go and you look at the vacation schedules,
Right.
and you pick out dates and stuff to see where you can go.
So rather than send out an email to everybody, put it on the DVC member site and say, "Hey, we've got X number of rooms that are going to go up to the general public if someone doesn't book them by this date." That way, they're not inundating everybody with an email. And then it's your responsibility to go into your DVC site and check.
Mm-hmm.
Just a thought. All right. I have something. I can't remember what it was now. Oh, yeah. A vacation appreciation incentive. If you decide you want to go to Disney World 2024, they have, I think it's Partners Credit Union, allow people who book vacations through Disney to become members of Partners and create a vacation club account where you're actually saving money towards your vacation that you're going to book or that you're booking. So you can take that money from there, earn a little bit interest on it, bless you, earn a little bit interest and pay it as you go. Just something they could do for, the fans or vacationers that want to go in their first time or 17th time to Walt Disney World that are not DVC members.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody else have anything before we vamoose out of here?
I only have one other thing on my list, and we've already
Sure.
touched
Let's
on
have it.
the spots, and that was to expand the monorail and the Skyliner.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, they need to do that.
They definitely need more modes of transportation, and they need to open up the roads again. I don't know what they've been working on with some of those closures, but they need to open it up. Go squirting all over to the right-hand side. Left-hand side. I almost got myself killed the other night leaving.
If you think it's bad now, wait until the state of Florida takes it over, because things will not get done any faster than they're moving now. They're just going to slow down.
So our trip, our family trip coming up, this will be the first time, because there are so many of us, that we've rented a vehicle. We normally don't rent a vehicle. If it's just the two of us, or my husband and I, or myself alone, then we'll stay on property. But if we got the kids with us, we usually stay off property because we just need the space. This is the first time we're renting a vehicle, so it'll be interesting to try to navigate all those roads and stuff with all that construction and stuff going on. But I really wish that there was either a monorail station or a Skyliner station at the Lime and Orange garages at Disney Springs.
Yeah, that would be very nice and convenient. Lottie, I'm surprised you didn't mention this. Opening up many more value resort suites for larger families.
You know what?
Have enough.
As I need more. I need bigger rooms for families. I would love it if they had like condos or townhouses or something on Disney property, because it just isn't, like, the only place we can stay right now is Art of Animation, or what's the other one? All-Star Music. They have family suites. Like, we did the last time we stayed on property, we stayed at Port Orleans Riverside, and they had the trundle beds.
Yeah.
So Charlotte
Mhm.
slept on the trundle bed, and then Candace and Ava were in, but they're too big for that now. So, you know.
Families of 5 have difficult times
Mhm.
finding
Yep.
rooms in the Disney resorts.
I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely. Universal's so far ahead of Disney in that area.
oh my gosh, we're okay. We could talk about that one offline, but we got a family suite at Universal that's perfect size for us. But when the kids are older, then maybe we can get them adjoining rooms, but
Mhm.
they're still too young for that.
Now,
Mhm.
does anybody know what's going on? The area that used to be River Country, is it just laying waste?
Well, they were gonna build that Reflections, but they discontinued that, and now it kinda looks like the tower that's going up in the Polynesian, has kind of
There
taken
it is,
that
something.
design over there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but you know what? They're maybe not there, but they've got plenty of space, not just for a fifth or a sixth theme park, but for making a family suites only resort.
Yeah, that's they need it. I've done Art of Animation the Lion King suites twice, and you know even those are a little tight for 5.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, for anybody who's still listening or watching us, I just want you to know that we're not knocking Disney for what they've done. We're just imagining if we own Disney, things we would personally like to see done, or that we would do ourselves.
Yeah, for our own
Um,
selfish reasons.
right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. A lot of them are for selfish reasons.
Right.
And I just want to mention too that these aren't suggestions for Disney.
No.
These are
Well,
these
some of
are
them
just
might be.
our own
Some of them
crazy
might
thoughts. Yeah, some of them might be, but these are our crazy thoughts, and I'm sure a lot of people out there have imagined, hey, if I own Disney, I do this or I do that. So we just kind of like put it out there for ourselves. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to mention? Well, I hope everybody's enjoyed the show. We will be back and we had a little difficulty this week scheduling, so we combined the show Thursday, but we should be back this coming week, earlier in the week, with a news only show, and then later in the week with our regular show. The week after that, we're going to have to combine the shows again one day because I've got scheduling issues. So everybody, have a marvelous Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. Bye bye. Oh, one more thing. I meant to mention this in the top of the show. And forgive me for not remembering to mention this. There's just been a lot going on today. I grieve for the families in Texas that have to and should never have had to do this, bury their children. It's the hardest thing a parent can do is bury a child. And our hearts and prayers and heartfelt condolences and prayers go out to each and every person in Texas and anywhere else who's been a victim of these mass shootings. And you've got our support. If there's anything we can do to help you out, just please let us know. All right, till next time, bye-bye.
See you real soon.
Well, I'm gonna lighten the mood just a little bit, and after complaining about my frustrations with the bus service and with the strollers, I'm still gonna be going back down to Walt Disney World, and actually fairly soon. So, so I would like to say, so meet me down on Main Street. Everybody have a great week thinking about Disney.
Have a magical night and happy Memorial Day.